Two teenagers walk into their high school with the intention of creating havoc. Both are heavily armed and full of raging emotions. Their backpacks and clothing disguise their weapons from the public eye, and they look just like normal high school students. They walk into the nearest hallway and dictate for people to follow orders, and those who will not get shot. People are screaming and running away. At this, the pair open fire. The school goes into lockdown mode, and a SWAT team is called. The teens are now in police custody. Minors such as this pair, who commit crimes intentionally, should not be treated differently because of their age. They have the ability to comprehend the consequences of their actions and make proper decisions. Being tried as adults exposes them to the repercussions of their actions, and they learn from their mistakes. Many cases argue that teenagers have bright futures ahead of them and that they should be given lighter charges. While these allegations are true, the perpetrator is smart enough to know the crimes they are committing. In the Steubenville rape case, two high school football players aged 17 and 16 were accused of raping a teenage girl under the influence of alcohol, and later to the spread of nude photographs online. Text messages were brought forth at the trial that suggested that the coach was aware of what went on before charges were brought. This conveys that the coach held back acknowledgement of the incident to protect their future, a future that would have not been haunted by this incident. In the end, one of the boys was charged with 1 year of juvenile detention, and the other, that took the photos, with 2 years. If convicted as adults, these charges would have been much harsher and longer. The boys ruined this girl's life by raping and spreading pictures of her online for the entire internet to view. It is an injustice that these boys got away so easily. Juveniles in this case should be punished to the harshest extent. Also, one might argue that parents would not want dangerous kids near their children. One example is cyberbullying. In the news, there is an abundance of suicide cases of teenagers after being cyberbullied to the point where they could not take it anymore. One such case involves parents who refused to believe that their child was at wrong and would not ban her from social media, which led to police involvement. The police stated, "We decided, look, we can't leave her out there. Who else is she going to torment? Who else is she going to harass? Who is the next person she verbally and mentally abuses and attacks?" With our society, it is apparent that people are showing more sympathy for the attackers and not the victims, with phrases such as, "They had a bright future," "They had a clean background," "They were an honor student." Meanwhile, mourning families are left to pick up the pieces of their loss, and the attackers can go free, tormenting other innocent kids. Bullies related to suicide should not be allowed to roam freely without the guilt of triggering the innocent's death. In our society today, teens are acquiring the concept of independence rapidly, and they are less likely to listen to authority. All members of society have been influenced by technology. Chad Marshall, a criminal and civil law and American history teacher at Fresno High School, says that technology in society plays a part in their behavior and that teenagers are old enough to know right from wrong. Teens are gaining more access to dangerous information posted throughout the internet, and parents are not always aware of what their child is doing. And with the creation of apps such as Twitter and Snapchat, it is easier for them to share their thoughts with others. Other teens can influence the behavior of the individual with their responses. The way they respond reassures the individual, and they gain confidence in themselves, or they change themselves to fit in. Teens are more focused on the backlash of their peers rather than the parents or teachers. If the teenagers feel they're responsible enough to be independent from their parents, they should be responsible enough to take responsibility for their actions. Any minor who intentionally commits a serious felony should not be held to different standards than an adult. Minors should not obtain easier charges because they have a brighter future. They need to be held accountable for their actions. The safety of others should be considered to the highest regard. Criminals should not get out easy with sob stories. If they commit the crime, they need to deal with the consequences and serve their time. Since they have the power to ruin someone's life or even end it, they must accept how it will affect their life.